listening to Krystal Clear Lore, a Wormsong production.
Things had been rough for Daichi over the last few weeks. His cousin Kenji had died in the freakiest way possible 2 prefectures over, and it was like Kenji's death spelt misfortune for the rest of his family. Daichi's fiancée returned the engagement ring once the details of Kenji's death had been made public. Apparently, knowing one of your in-laws had been murdered during a night that the temple monks had said an Onryo was out was way too much for her as of late, and Daichi was sure that he was going to find an excuse to fire him. Even most of the village had started to shun him, as if they could absorb some bad luck that Kenji's murder had infected him with. It had gotten so bad that Daichi was spending his precious free time walking outside his house in the village of Narusawa at night. That way he didn't have to deal with the suspicious and wary looks from the other villagers, and he could still enjoy his peaceful walks in order to keep trying to clear his head to cope with everything. As Daichi's footsteps padded on the dirt paths, he thought about his cousin. Kenji could be a right bastard, but no one deserved to get cut up like that. The local papers were blaming the murder on the Kuchisaki owner herself, which had stirred up the country. Blaming Onryo was a serious business, as blaming the supernatural unjustly could bring their wrath down upon you. Daichi shook his head as he continued walking. As if it wasn't enough that Kenji had died, his own grandmother had started to develop severe medical issues. She had been sick enough that she hadn't been able to get out of bed. With Kenji gone, there wasn't anyone else to help take care of her, so the duty had fallen at his feet. Daichi stopped, realizing that he should head back to check on grandmother before heading to bed. He turned when he heard something light and wispy trailing along the grass. Squinting in the dark, he only saw something black move. It almost looked like hair. Daichi shook himself and headed back quickly. He hadn't gotten far when he felt something on his leg. He looked down and saw the head of a woman biting into him. "Shit!" he screamed. He stopped moving and tried to kick the head off of him. After a few kicks, he was successful and took off running, feeling the blood run down his leg the entire time. He heard her laugh, but he didn't dare to look behind him. That could slow him down, so he put everything he had into running back home. He faltered for a brief second, realizing that if he went home, grandmother could be at risk. Where then? Where could he go? "Fuck!" he shouted as the damn thing bit him again, this time in the arm. Yanking the creature by its hair, he pulled it off of him and threw it into the darkness. Daichi stumbled off away from where he had thrown the head, but it was no good. He was bleeding too heavily now. The only place he could think to go for safety was the shrine, in the ice caves, as it was the closest holy place. But that was in Aokigahara, and an hour away on foot. He'd never make it. He leaned up against an outbuilding near the rice paddies and slid down it. Perhaps, after all, his family was cursed. He blinked a few times, trying to maintain consciousness when he saw the head again. Nukekubi. That's what it was. He tried to write it in the dirt next to him, knowing he was as good as dead. The Nukekubi smiled at him and bit into his neck.
She drained his body dry and floated back to her body, full and pleased with herself. Most of the village had started believing that Daichi was cursed, so it was a perfect opportunity to enjoy some prey without having to travel too far. The woman smiled and slid her head back onto her body, with the only trace of her condition being a scar that circled her entire neck.
The villagers found Daichi's body pretty quickly the next morning. He had been completely drained of blood. When the elders started investigating the scene, they found his last message, Nukekubi, drawn into the dirt next to him. One Elder Hiroto, casually scuffed it out with his foot before people could see. The 3 village elders exchanged a look at each other and came to a silent agreement. All men must gather at Elder Hiroto's home in an hour. The villagers looked confused, but nodded and headed off to their homes. "Are you sure, Hiroto?" Elder Daisuke asked in a raspy voice. Hiroto nodded. "Yes, we will have to inform the men of what we found, take care of Daichi's body, and watch the women tonight. One of them is definitely at fault here." The elder sighed. "What a plague to infect our community," Elder Botan murmured. At the meeting at Elder Hiroto's home, all the village men sat and waited quietly while the elders explained. "Daichi was killed by a Nukekubi," Botan started. At this, many of the men's eyes widened in fear. A yokai had infested their village and killed one of their own. Ill omens indeed for them all. "The creature is going to be too smart to have her scar openly visible, but tonight her head will be detached again. We'll have to kill her when her head leaves tonight," Elder Hiroto instructed. The men nodded and murmured quietly to each other. We need one man to be watching for each woman, Elder Daisuke followed. Make sure you are acting completely normal for the day and well into the evening. We don't want to alert it, we know it's here. Elder Botan spoke again. We will take a couple of you today to start building a pyre out of the side of the village. Tell your families that we have ordered everyone to stay in the village limits for now in case Daichi died due to an animal attack. We will also need to dispose of Daichi's body and provide services for him, Elder Daisuke remarked. He spent his last breath warning us about Nukekubi, so we must make sure to honor his sacrifice. The men nodded and went to work, preparing for the night. Thankfully, no one shirked their duty that evening. Once their families were completely asleep, the men all quietly and carefully crept outside. It didn't take long for one of them to see the Nukekubi's head leaving Elder Daisuke's house. Quick, it's at Elder Daisuke's. Get the others, he whispered to the group. The man, Chikao, crept up to the elder's house. He searched the rooms and found Elder Daisuke's daughter, Kaiko, asleep with her head missing. Kaiko had been recently widowed and thus returned to her father's household during her mourning period. As Chikao looked at her body, he wondered what had happened to her husband, or what her husband had done to get his wife cursed. The other men arrived, with Elder Daisuke at the lead. Chikao stepped aside so Daisuke could see for himself. The old man collapsed to his knees in shock. Elders Botan and Hiroto grasped his shoulders while motioning for the man to haul Keiko's body to the pyre.
Keiko, or at least Keiko's head, was drifting through the forest looking for some prey when she felt the lick of the flames at her body. She shrieked and flew back to her body and to her father's home. The fire burned hotter and hotter, and she could feel the searing heat as she struggled to return. She had just seen the outer edge of the village when she fell to the ground. Becoming dizzy with the intense pain, she saw the pyre in the distance before closing her eyes and losing her consciousness. Welcome back to Krystal Clear Lore. My name is Krystal, and today we are covering a pair of entities for the first time. The Rokurokubi and the Nukekubi.
Gotta love them.
All right, and they're...
I'm Brady, and this was very Japanese. This was a challenge for me, by the way. If you can't tell, I record the stories you hear before this. If you skip them...
what are you doing? What are you doing if you skip them? Okay, don't do that.
Don't skip them.
That's half the fun.
They ain't ads.
So the last time we were in Japan was Kuchisake Onna, which we referenced with Kenji getting brought up as Daichi's cousin.
Yep.
And she is in, we had her in Gifu City. This time...
Prefecture.
Gifu Prefecture. Gifu was like Gifu City and Gifu Prefecture.
I know.
But two prefectures to the east is Yamanashi Prefecture, and that is where the Rokurokubi and the Nukekubi are commonly found.
Hard to pronounce if you are not initiated to Japanese language.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of anime, though. It helped a little bit.
It does help. It gets you in the mindset. So this is our first double header. Like I said, it is impossible to research the Nukekubi, or the Rokurokubi without the other. They are extremely closely related. The Rokurokubi are long-necked women, and the Nukekubi are the women whose heads detach.
Guys, she showed me pictures, or even like actually animated GIFs of these things. Nightmare fuel. Oh my gosh. I think so far, I say this a lot, but you keep ramping it up, so this is creepiest.
So far. We'll see.
Creepiest. 3 out of 5 stars.
The Rokurokubi is where we're going to start because they are the main one. They are a type of yokai, so they are completely different than Kuchisake Onna was.
So they're like an adult Pokemon.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just joking, but that's kind of what the yokai are to me.
Kind of. Yokai Watch kind of really popularized that belief.
It's actually got to avoid them all.
So Kuchisake Onna is a type of onryo, which is like a vengeful ghost. Right? She falls under the category of yurei, which is ghosts.
Okay.
Yokai are supernatural creatures and monsters in Japanese folklore. So they're not human. They are like they're their own thing.
Yeah.
Now, Rokurokubi are called long-necked women because as they sleep, or they're normal during the day, but when they sleep, their neck lengthens and stretches, allowing them to roam freely.
Yeah, you showed me like a claymation one.
No,
or was it?
I showed you that messed up
animation
commercial.
one? Oh man, I don't know what it was. It was horrible.
I should have.
The neck is really long, guys. Like Twizzlers. Okay.
So there is an ad on YouTube that I showed Brady. It is it's very disturbing. I did not like it. It was awful. If you look up, it's very creepy yoki, so YOKI, Japanese ad, and it's on the YouTube channel Ad Central. So I highly encourage, go look it up. It is probably the creepiest thing involving the Rokurokubi I have ever seen, and I did not like it.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it again.
Rokurokubi actually translates to pulley neck because it's like a pulley, but with the neck. So
you know what I kind of pictured? Do you remember those straws, the accordion straws that kind of...
It's kind of like that,
I kind of pictured that. It's bad.
Let's see. However, so most yokai are born, right? They're not made. They're not human. They've never been human. They're just born as these supernatural creatures in Japanese lore.
Right. Born, like, they just kind of appear, or, like, actually, like, a reproduction of some sort?
I think it kind of depends on the yokai.
Oh.
It's complicated.
I pretend I didn't ask.
We'll
move on from that.
Like
we'll move on from that question.
I would say some are born, some are kind of like made, some are...
I don't want to open up that Pandora's box.
So there's none that are made, but there's like, well, if you cut like one in half, it like asexually reproduces.
Okay, because I don't want to get into like never mind.
They definitely sexually reproduce. That's definitely a thing for some of them.
I had to ask. I had to open my mouth.
You had to open your mouth.
I had to be a curious guy. That's why I'm sitting right here pushing these buttons. But now I know all these things I don't want to know, and I can't unsee things. And this is an adventure.
Okay, so Rokurokubi, though, are different. So are Nukekubi. So if I'm saying Rokurokubi...
how are they different as yokai?
They are made, not born.
Oh, okay.
So these were women at one point.
That's kind of like my stepdaughter.
Fair. I think she was made.
Exactly. Well, is hatched made or is that born?
You know what? I think made.
Oh, okay. I guess she's human.
Ish. So these are women that were cursed due to sinful behavior against the gods, nature, or their husbands.
Oh boy, them naughty women.
Actually, what's really sad is it's most of the time not their fault.
Oh gosh.
So in the story, I had Keiko, like or Chikao, was like, man, I wonder what her husband did to get Keiko cursed like that.
Yeah.
This is a very common thing, is that the women have to take the fault for their father's or their husband's transgressions.
Oh my.
And I'm like, I hate that.
How dare you have been born.
So it's not great. Now, they are women, right? The Rokurokubi are women all the time.
Yeah.
However, there are tales of male, like Rokurokubi or even families. But I think what happened there is that it's getting confused with the Mikoshi Niyudo. They are similar creatures to the Rokurokubi.
I'm kind of glad you didn't make me read that.
The Mikoshi Niyudo. Yeah. They will have to be covered in a different episode because they have a ton of their own lore. But they are very, very similar to the Rokurokubi.
Okay.
Except they're men.
I should start brushing up on my Japanese pronunciations.
You are going to have to. Okay. So the subtype, for lack of better term, or closely related cousin to it, is the Nukekubi.
Yes.
These women don't have the long necks, but their head detaches completely and just kind of flies around on its own. Mm-hmm. Now, these are interesting because they don't just show up in Japan. They show up in China and other Southeast Asian countries.
Oh, okay.
They're also far more aggressive, which is why Daichi ran into one in the story.
I'm just picturing these as like a studio Ghibli, whatever you guys want to do. Studio Ghibli kind of drawing.
Yeah, think of like a very pretty Japanese lady, right? And just her head flowing around.
Oh,
kind of bobbing around.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. These ones are known to bite their victims like vampires. So like right in the neck, they'll drain all the blood out. and then they rip. They're also known to bite humans, animals to
And
death.
they fly.
And they fly.
Okay, guys. Hey, we're this episode brought to you by Mossberg Shotguns.
Guns are mostly illegal in Japan, so that won't help.
Yeah, poor guys.
No, not poor guys. There's a reason guns aren't allowed
I
in
guess
Japan.
they have a broom. That'll work.
So the Nukekubi are also cursed individuals. And these ones, though, so the Nukekubi can also be made. Born, not just made.
Okay.
So the Nukekubi, if a mom is a Nukekubi, she can pass the curse on to her daughter.
Oh, gosh.
So, but the fact that Daichi didn't know that Keiko was a Nukekubi means that either he didn't know his wife was one, and she's always had that, or Keiko got cursed by something her husband, or he could have done too, and was not known.
Interesting.
So, in a lot of legends for both, this is where it gets really sad. The girls and women live with a curse whose cure has never been found, and they're also forced to live through hell on a daily basis.
Oh.
A lot of them, mostly Rokurokubi, they get sold off by their families to live in brothels or human circuses.
Oh.
They're treated like a sideshow attraction or an exhibit to come ogle at. And the attraction of exhibiting them, it drew a lot of customers. So,
Oh, yeah. Those are really popular even to this day. That kind of stuff is really popular.
It's a whole thing. So, those are the lucky ones. And then we got to get into a little bit of Japanese culture stuff.
Oh.
Because a lot of the women and girls that get cursed with this commit suicide.
Oh, is that why you brought up the famous forest?
No, so Aokigahara is actually next to the city or the village that I chose, Narusawa. And I didn't know that when I chose Narusawa.
Oh, just ironically then.
And then I was like, oh, what's the nearest shrine? And it's like, oh, it's in this ice cave. Then I'm like, okay, I have to bookmark that ice cave for future discussion. And okay, where's the ice cave? It's an hour away in Aokigahara. And I'm like,
yeah.
Crap, it's literally in the suicide forest. No, thank you.
Oh, man.
We're not. That's got to be its whole thing. That's got to be a whole thing of its own because that suicide forest is just teeming with lore. There's so much stuff in that forest.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of. You could do an episode about that and each individual thing in it, probably.
Oh, so much.
There's so much lore out there, guys. You know what I realize is it's just infinite.
It really is.
People have been making up stories for a long time, and I cannot wait to. I love finding out what's true in them. What's the truth that underlies all of them? Some of them are commonalities.
So I'm going to circle back to the suicide thing because it's really important that when we say, oh, well, the lucky ones get to live and the unlucky ones commit suicide, that's really imparting a lot of Western bias because Japan itself has not culturally seen suicide as a bad thing. It's seen it as an honorable act that can restore the family standing, societal standing. Like, saving face is like a huge thing in Japan.
So if there's like a total dishonor or you've completely fallen apart and you're bringing dishonor on your family or I guess who you're working for.
Suicide literally is a way to redeem that honor.
Or Japan.
Yeah, suicide's how you do it. That's why we can't have Japan have things anymore because of World War II.
Yeah, it's really similar to seppuku.
Seppuku. Yeah, so a lot of this does come from the Bushido Code, and that's going to be a whole other conversation because the Bushido Code is what the samurai lived by, and a lot of that did get ingrained inside Japanese culture.
Yeah, it was just kind of a condensed reminder of what they were fighting for, right?
No.
Essentially. Well, it's more of a...
It's
it
a
goes
whole
deeper than that,
thing.
but I'm simplifying it as best that I can.
I would have to spend probably 2 episodes just pulling apart the Bushido Code.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I only have a tertiary understanding.
It is very deep. Very, very deep lore.
Well, that's what this show is for.
So, the thing is, I know the last one with the Menehune was kind of a shallow thing, and I'm getting deeper and deeper into, Japanese yokai, and as we're getting into these other cultures, where I'm realizing that I'm having to also look at, okay, well, why did they commit suicide? Because it was to redeem their family's honor. Okay, well, why would they think that? Oh, because that was a thing forever. They've only recently started turning away from that as an idea, but Japan, things move really slow there. They're on
island time.
Yeah, these newer ideas, like, oh, well, maybe suicide isn't the best way to restore honor. that could take another like 2-3 generations.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
It is very, like, change is hard in Japan. It is a whole thing. It's very slow and it's very hard.
Well, I can imagine, yeah. Especially with just like, just everything is about their culture there.
Yeah, it is very much a thing. So
I have a question, and maybe I'm jumping the gun, but is there any newspaper articles, any...
No, this is like with the
stories?
second week in a row I haven't found newspaper articles. Well,
yeah, I know. I'm kind of jonesing for it.
I know. I was shocked. I was like, wow,
that's my favorite part, personally, just because I like to connect it to like the real world where people are like, hey, it's got to be this.
Well,
it's got to be this.
I had issues finding stuff on the so the Rokurokubi, like they don't go after blood, right? They love to just scare people because they think it's funny.
Yeah.
Or they will, they might attack some small animals. And apparently they will also, they have like extremely long tongues and they use that to lick up lamp oil.
Oh, I hate it. Well, at least it's just lamp oil.
Yeah, they're not
aggressive. I just watched Transformers 2 recently.
Oh.
And there's a part with a robot tongue, and it's just, we'll leave it there. It's just kind of reminded me of that, but now it's worse.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
Because this one is slimy. Oh, anyway.
Yeah, so they're not really going to do anything, right? They're just they might give you a fright, but really they just want to have fun. I don't really worry about it.
Just basically a-holes.
Yeah, they're tricksters.
Yeah.
The Nukekubi, though, those are the ones that you have to watch out for.
Yeah, those ones dangerous. Well,
those are very dangerous because they suck you. They'll get you exsanguinated. Yeah, they're bloodsuckers. Yeah. Not great.
That sucks.
So.
Pun intended.
I know, and the sad thing is, like, a lot of these women, they didn't do anything.
Well, isn't that called a latent issue?
Yeah, stinky.
That's, I couldn't imagine.
Okay, so...
What would it be like to be afraid of that?
We kind of danced around, so I'm going to give a little bit of a summary here. The Rokurokubi and Nukekubi are closely related to yokai. The Rokurokubi is a cursed woman, usually due to her father's or husband's actions. While she sleeps, her neck grows and her head travels around on its own. They usually attack small animals, lick lamp oil, or just give humans a fright for funsies. Then you got to watch out for the Nukekubi. These ones can be cursed directly or have their mother's curse be passed down onto them. Their heads detach and they are always out for blood. These creatures are far more violent and aggressive than the Rokurokubi. Both of these creatures' stories are riddled with receiving the curse from family members' actions, living as an attraction to gawk at, or honorable suicide in order to restore the family's good standing.
Oh, boy.
So, before we wrap up, any more questions?
Not that I can think of this time.
Okay, and as always, if you guys have questions or comments or you want us to cover something, please make sure that you are liking, commenting, email us at wormsongmedia. Reach out to us.
That's wormsongmedia@gmail.com.
Do we have an outro?
We have an outro clip, so don't even worry about it, folks. We'll be playing that for you in just a second.
Don't we have an outro clip?
Yeah.
Aren't we fancy people with our outro clips?
The formalities of podcasting, am I right?
So please do comment, do interact with us. One, it helps us grow so we can keep doing this.
Yes.
2, we would love to hear from you because the more we hear feedback about, oh, hey, I would like it if you guys did this instead, or, oh, this wasn't my favorite bit. Maybe,
Are you on a social media platform that you'd like to have us interact on? I don't know, because we only have Threads and Instagram at the moment, if you don't count YouTube.
Do you count YouTube?
It's technically social media.
I guess we could count
comments, exist. But anyway, but we're on all platforms that you want to listen to. So tell your friends, just tell them to search Krystal Clear Lore. And I think that's all we got to cover, Thanks again for listening.
Yeah, and I hope today made the Rokurokubi and the Nukekubi crystal clear. Bye.
Bye.
Follow us on Threads and Insta at Wormsong Media. That's WYRMSONG Media. Want to reach out to us? Email us at wormsongmedia@gmail. Again, that's WYRMSONGMEDIA@gmail.